Hello, Top Tier Tactics. It's Xiant, and it's been a while. And I'm not playing Battlefield, and I'm not playing a shooter. I'm playing Assassin's Creed. And this is from the first night of successful multiplayer play in Assassin's Creed 3 multiplayer. I have been streaming a lot of Wolfpack because the PC servers, honestly, they're terrible. I know there are people playing, and I know there are enough people playing that I should be able to get into a match fairly quickly. But I'm not. And I'm consistently not getting into a match with any degree of speed. And I know it's launch week, and I know Ubisoft on PC is not good, and I know that Assassin's Creed is even worse because it's a terrible port. But it's vexing for me, because even though I'm primarily a shooter player, I feel like if I'm going to be a part of the T3 community, I'm going to want to play Assassin's Creed. And I'm going to want to post it on the T3 channel. But that's not the only reason. But I feel like, as a multiplayer gamer, I should play something like this that's so radically different from my regular experience. But on to the topic. I titled this video, for my own personal use, as Teach Me How to Stun. Because for the Xiant of right now, who's doing this recording, he knows a little more about how to stun. You know, it's distance and then player action based. But for the Xiant of this recording, he had no idea what he was doing. He would contest kills and he would get honorable deaths. But I don't know if I get a single stun in this game. I know too that a whole lot of you who are watching are way better than this than I am, and will remain better than this than I am for a long time, if not forever. And this guy played this move perfectly. I had no idea it was him. But I feel like Top Tier Tactics should be a two-way street. Yes, Wing, Districted, Bin, Ferret, myself, we can all tell you how to get better at a game. But you, the viewers, can also tell us how to get better at a game. And so that's what I'm doing with this video, and what I'll be doing with the videos to come. Watch them, and in the comments section, pick a single moment in the game that you thought was a major blunder on my part, and then tell me how you would have played it, or tell me how you would have done something differently. What about this could I have done differently? In this case, I should not have faced him. I simply should have just stood where I was and spammed the stun key. But what would you have done? And because this video will probably be titled as well, Teach Me How to Stun, show me situations where stunning would have been possible, or I didn't even consider it. Show me as well by, telling me. Here's another one. For each kill that I get, and I do go positive this match, for each kill that I get, tell me how I could have gotten more points, how I could have been flashier, how I could have been more effective in my pursuit. Tell me everything you think would make me better, because I'm going to be playing a lot of Assassin's Creed 3, and if I'm going to be playing a lot of it, and I come up with strategies Wing hasn't thought of, then I think it would behoove me to share them with you. But I won't get better than Wing unless I know what I'm doing. And I have no idea what I'm doing, as you can plainly see from this video. Now, line of sight's not terrible, and I didn't really care that I wasn't going to get him for a large number of points. And I did not expect him to be there. And so right there's a perfect example. No, I didn't hear the whispers, but I know you probably did, some of you. And you know who my target was because I was looking right at him and jumping around like a moron trying to get him. What would you have done in that situation? What would I have done there? Now, if I were smart, I would have just walked nonchalantly on by, kept out of stun range if at all possible, gone hidden and watched him move, just to make sure I was doing it right. But that's me. That's my analysis of the situation. What would you guys have done? In an article I'm preparing for tomorrow, or today for some of you who are watching this, I talk about some of the gripes I have, not about the game, but about my own playstyle. Things that I'm not doing correctly. Stunning, for one thing. Misidentifying pursuers is another. But the biggest failure for me, and something I'm not sure I can learn my way out of, is not being able to pick out my targets from a crowd. I mentioned it in the article, but I'll say it here as well. I wear glasses, and I don't have the money to get a new prescription. And so my eyesight's not very good. And in this game, I think it's really hard, for me at the very least, to pick a target out of a crowd. Right here is a perfect example. At 2 occasions earlier, you saw that I knew, or at least my character knew, where he was. But I didn't, as the player. I had looked around, I had checked every angle, and he wasn't there. Some of you may have seen him, some of you may not have seen him, but I didn't. And as I continue to play, and if I get frustrated, it becomes incredibly difficult for me to see people. So once again, I ask you here, as I will in the article, what do you do to successfully pick your target out of a crowd? Do you watch them to make sure that they're not trying to kill someone? When you're playing deathmatch, do you stay in a hidden group a whole lot? Like right here, I know he's my pursuer, and I know he's focusing me, and I think to myself, I should probably stun him. And so and here I do. And I thought to myself, I did a good job there. And looking back, knowing what I know now, that was a good stun. And here I get trapped because of my own stupidity. Because I knew he was my pursuer, but I didn't do anything. I waited. I was patient. Which is one of the big things I have to learn about this game, is I have to just be patient. But I also can't be greedy. And right there, I was greedy as hell. I thought to myself, oh, I'll get a focus aerial kill on him. That'll be awesome. And I know that he hears the whispers, and so I expected him to try and stun me. And he didn't. Probably because, like me, he's a new player. But unlike me, he probably hasn't watched or read some of the Top Tier Tactics stuff that's been put out. Here I'm not so sure. And I thought it was him, but I also thought it was the guy I just passed who turned around quickly, which is the main reason I probably died there. Also, I'm not very good at this game yet, which is why I'm here asking you for help. In that situation, what would you have done? And in this situation, where I clearly see my pursuer high profiling in the distance, and I've locked him, should I have waited to try and stun him, or should I go on the hunt for my next target? And again, I couldn't see him. Or I may have, and it's here that I go looking for him. And my final question to you, now that I have very little time to actually ask it, is this. When you have a pursuer or two, but your target is in sight, what do you do, precisely? Do you run for your target? Do you try to identify your pursuers? Both? Or some combination I haven't thought of? Do you try something unconventional? And if you do try something unconventional, what is it you try to do? What is it in your strategy? What is one of your strategies that works 9 times out of 10, or 7 times out of 10? Don't share with me all your dark, dirty secrets. But here we are at the end of the video. I'm gonna close a couple doors. I win, which means that I can win, but at the same time, I don't get the final kill cam special that comes with Assassin's Creed. So I bid you guys farewell, and I'll see you on T3.